All right. Let's just give it a minute. I think it should be there right now. Let's put some music. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Tonight, this is gonna be one of my best show since I started this platform. And I wanna say, give me a second, guys. Bon, c'est tout fan mwen yo. Pour nous excuser ma soeur parce que et guest que m'gen yo pas parler créole, so excuse me. Tonight, this show is gonna be in English, only in English, so I can do both. But when they are speaking, it's mostly gonna be in English. So, na excuse me parce que et show ça à soya la fête et en anglais. So again and again, welcome back to my channel. So tonight, you guys know most people move through life like on autopilot, like head down on the tablet or on the phone. They mostly don't know anything that's going around them. So that's why tonight we are going to talk about a topic. The subject of tonight is situational awareness. So recently, one of my friend that is on the screen tonight, this guy was telling me like I don't usually see you out. What's going on? And I told him I don't really like going out because anytime I'm in a crowd, I'm feeling, I'm freaking out. It's like I don't feel comfortable because I always like expecting something's gonna happen. That's why I don't really go out. And that's when my friend was telling me there is a way that like you can train yourself. There is a way like you can be when you are outside to kind of know what's going on, like study people, and if something is about to happen, like you can do the counter attack, like move or do whatever you can do to save your life. So the topic of tonight can change, save your life, save your family, and have a, I don't want to say a better understanding. Yes, a better understanding of when you are outside. I'm gonna give you the chance tonight to meet my guest. It's an honor to have Mr. Franklin tonight, Mr. Denim, and Sister Sophia with me tonight. And I think my other sister just joined, which is Sister Nadia. So, guys, the ladies first. I'm gonna let Sophia talk to my public tonight, say hi and present yourself. So we're gonna do a round table. After Sophia, we're gonna go with Sister Nadia, and after that Denim, and after that my main guest, which is Mr. Franklin. Sophia, how are you tonight?
Hi everyone, I am good. Once again, I'm happy to be in the platform again tonight to participate and to be able to learn something as well because we're always learning something new from everybody else. So yeah, I'm happy to be here with you guys.
All right, let's go, Sister Nadia. How are you tonight?
I'm well. I'm well. How are you guys? It's a pleasure to be here tonight. I'm so excited. I know there's gonna be a
Yep,
lot to say tonight. I can't wait to learn and also to share. Um,
yep.
yeah,
Yeah, and I can see that
looking
in your
forward.
face. I can see that in your face. You are very happy. Mr. Denny, man, how are you tonight?
No, doing good, doing good. Happy to be here. Thanks for invite, and I'm ready to learn. This is a quite interesting topic, and this is something that we all have it, but then it's hard to figure out when to use it and how to utilize it properly. So I think it's going to be quite interesting and lot to talk about here.
All right, what's your name again, sir? What's your name again?
What's my name again?
Yeah.
Denim?
Yeah,
Denim
Denim.
here.
So this
Yes,
is
yes.
Denim, my friend. All right. So now this is the big guy, Mr. Franklin. So how are you, my friend? How are you tonight? How are you feeling, man?
I'm doing well, excellent. I mean, it could be a little bit warmer here in upstate New York, but I can't complain too much.
I know, I know, I know.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really looking forward to finally getting to chat with you.
The pleasure is mine, my friend. So, guys, let's get it. As I already told you, the topic of tonight is situational awareness. Mr. Franklin, so recently in our conversation, you were
Hmm.
telling me like there is a way that you guys can train yourself when you are outside, when you are in a crowd, like if something is about to happen, how to study people. Before we get started, like what is it exactly, situational awareness? Can you just give us a brief description of this topic tonight?
Yeah, super good question. So, I think, like Denim actually said, a lot of people, I think, practice this natively, but you can always get better at it. And I think it's more necessary today than you would ever need it, to be quite frank. So, situational awareness is exactly in the name. It's your own personal awareness of what's happening in your environment around you, whether it has people in it, you're by yourself, the situation you're in, taking as much information in as possible, and just being present and aware.
All right, perfecto. So Denim, I know you, you guys, you have your lesson and you learned your lesson recently. So do you wanna add anything about situational awareness? Awareness? Do you know anything about situational awareness?
Yeah, just going back to like, we do have this innately, right? Like we are aware of the situations, but sometimes it's just hard to figure out when is actually a true threat or is it just an we are overreacting to it. And I think that's going back to Franklin's point of like how can we train ourselves, right? Like how can we be more aware of it and identifying what is truly needs to be in our attention and what is just a noise, I guess. So
All right.
yeah, well, how do you think, Franklin? How would you establish that base, I guess, for to say finding the what we need to be aware of, I guess.
Hmm. Okay, well, that's a really good question to start right off the bat with. I have to say the number one thing to establishing your base now more than ever. I might have given a different answer for this a decade or two ago, but today it's get off your phone in public. Number one. Very, very simple, easy.
Mm.
I mean, this thing is made to keep your attention, and that's both when you're using and even when you're not using it. You feel like you need to check your notifications and all these different things. Obviously, I mean, I have my phone with me right now. Like I'm tied into it too. But the most important thing is when you're in public, and especially when you're in an environment you're unfamiliar with, you need to be off your phone. Take it
Mm.
in, know where your exits are, know how many people are in the room. Really simple things like that go a long way.
I want to
Yep.
piggyback with something that you just said. With first of all, I when you guys say situational awareness, I think of environmental awareness, right? To be alert when you're in environment. Um, don't you think it could be a bit challenging to be in a place and not have your phone? Because I will say instead of get off your phone, maybe be not be stay alert. Be mindful of where you are. Right? I could still be
Hmm.
texting and still paying attention to my environment. I don't have to be completely off, but I could just be mindful. I'm somewhere. I know it's an area that I may not know certain people. I'm just gonna stay alert. I still could be in my phone, but I'm just gonna be mindful. Do you think it's possible? Do you think I feel like it? Because she might be talking to somebody could be checking on your loved ones. You can't be you don't have to be off your phone, but I would say be mindful.
Yeah. Well, you used a word that I'm probably going to end up repeating a lot today, which is mindfulness, right? So I think you're touching on a super important point, which is it's pretty exhausting to be aware. It's pretty exhausting to be
Mm.
present. It's almost impossible to do all the time. And there's complete layering degrees to being aware. And most of us don't necessarily need to be in that peak awareness, like what's going on alert state all the time. Totally unnecessary. You're going to run yourself ragged. But I totally agree. I think a big part of situational awareness and just being aware and safe in your own environment is having all of your senses on, and at least, again, just being aware. And when you're on your phone, you're at least taking away one of your primary senses, which is, of course, your sight, right? Now, I'm definitely not alluding to not having your phone at all, because I think the phone is like the best tool we've made in humanity, pretty much, right? I think we should all have our phones on us. In fact, that actually helps in a lot of situations. But I do think we have an epidemic right now of people walking around in public, getting themselves hurt, tripping on things, just very simple, small things that if you were not moving in an unfamiliar environment where conditions are constantly changing, for example, in upstate New York, where there's ice everywhere now, that next step that you're going to take, it might have been safe 6 months ago, but it might not be today. So it's just one of those things where you have to, again, just know your environment and where you're in, the time of day, things like that.
All right. So for me, there is one thing that you told me when we had our first conversation about situational awareness. You were telling me, like, there is a way, like, you can train yourself. You can study
Hmm.
people. It's like you can go to a mall, you sit down and you're watching people, you study like people's movement. So how exactly can you train yourself to be aware?
Yeah. Okay. Super good question. So I think there's 2 points here. One, to answer your first question, is this thing called people watching. So you can go to populated areas like malls, like farmers markets, things where there's a lot of people walking around doing a variety of different things. And you take this time, and again, you can probably even do this with your phone. You can take this time to be sitting down, and I'm just going to simply hold my attention and watch people. And you don't have to be creepy about it or anything like that, like
I was just
stare
thinking
at
about
someone
that.
individually, which I think a
Exactly.
lot of people
You don't
think
want to be
about,
creepy.
like IDing on one particular person and like, what is this person doing? What are they eating? Like nothing like that. You're just generally watching, like, how are people walking? Is someone walking around with their phone a lot? Well, I should maybe be a little bit careful if I'm going to be walking around near them, because maybe they're going to run into me, and I just need to be aware of that. Notice where people are walking in and out of, so you know where your egress is in case you have to leave someplace in an emergency. Know where most people are going to be going and coming from. So that's just general people watching. A lot of this is also psychology, like learning how people act, why people act the way they usually do, how does herd mentality work as humans, and just seeing that out in the world rather than thinking about it in your head is a huge, huge difference. And that's mostly the practice, to be quite transparent with you. The one is the people, because our environment is filled with people. And if there are animals, that's a whole separate
Hmm.
study. But it's your environment and it's the people watching, like we were talking about.
Yeah, I agree and understand. But
So,
for me, I'm gonna give you the time to say something. So for me, I think, like, the level that I'm thinking, like, when something is about to happen. If you're sitting down and literally someone is walking to you and,
Hmm.
like, going to do something to you, like, with your head down with your phone, you won't be able to see that. Like, if you're literally watching that person, you will know something is going to happen. But recently you were telling me, like, there is something that your gut, I don't know how, if I pronounce this word better, like, your instinct can tell
Hmm.
you, like, you feel there is something wrong in this environment. I thought that is something that could have been impossible, but you were telling me, like, there is a
Hmm.
way that you can, even at home, train yourself, like, to know, like, to have the feeling of when something bad is about to happen.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know how much you can necessarily train this at home per se. I think part of this is interacting with people a lot, to be quite transparent with you. Being able to interact with people, and I learned a lot of this through a martial arts perspective, interacting with different people in combative situations. When you're in situations like that, whether it's combative or not, like if you're even in an argument with someone vocally, like there's a certain energy you can feel coming off of someone sometimes where you can understand, like, I'm really in danger or we're just arguing about something, right? There's a certain thing we can feel intuitively as humans. When you're in an unfamiliar environment, all of that goes out the window. So this is, again, I'm going to use this word a lot, cultivating this feeling of mindfulness and this ability to center yourself into the moment and be aware of what's going on around you, that is a skill that alone is the foundation in the building block where everything else will build out of. And part of that is in the people watching and seeing this guy, like you take your own prejudice into account. This person looks like he could be dangerous, but he's not doing anything dangerous. So why am I thinking that way? You question these things, and then eventually you'll be able to feel in your own body the difference between intuition and your brain thinking something.
And
All right.
also, when you say to train yourself, to have to be able to uh, be mindful, being alert of, so that you could so that you have a sense of what's going on around you. February, you just said earlier, there's a way to train yourself. I think before you're able to develop that instinct, right? You have to first be in tune with your emotions. You have to know yourself before you could feel something. You have to before know, what, something is weird. Maybe I'm feeling different today.
Mm-hmm.
Something is off. You have to first be in tune, because some people, they're not in tune with their emotion. They feel things, they sense something, but because they're not in tune, because the mind is just everywhere, they cannot grab onto whatever might be going on in one, if I'm making sense. So I think before someone
Mm-hmm.
who could develop that
Right.
instinct, we have to be able to be in tune with our emotions first, with our feelings, so that we know when we're in an unfamiliar environment, we could sense, hey, something is off, something is odd, and maybe I need to pay more attention.
Yeah, 100% agree. Because when you're
Absolutely.
walking up someplace, like if you're walking head down, you have your phone in your hand, and then you were on the phone or you were watching something, your mind is out. When you're walking to that place, it's like you walking, you had no clue what's going on, and you stay in that place, you have no clue what's going on around that place. But if it's I think it's kind of spiritual also, like when
Mm-hmm.
you walk into a place, like like emotionally, yeah, you have control of yourself, not whatever you're watching have on control over you or whoever you on the phone with. When you get to that place, you have the sense of looking left and right, see where is the exit. You see what I mean? Like how people reacting in this environment. And then while you're sitting down, is there is some weird movement in this place, you will be able to see that, like having a feeling why this person is looking at that way. Why? I think there is something going on over there. Like that's why fucking was telling me, like you can do the counter attack. Either like you defend yourself or you move out the way. All right, and I think our next question going will be toward the kids nowadays. Like at 1 year old, two, three, the kids already have a device, a technology device, like phone or tablet. They grow up with the technology inside. Like whenever you take the phone from somebody, whenever like they don't have those devices, they're freaking out. So how can you train your kids, like even they have those devices, so they can be aware like wherever they go?
Yeah, this is a tough one because I'm not a parent either, and I think there's like a layer of being a parent that makes a huge difference in what you choose and choose not to do with a child, right? Now I can give you my opinion on what I think that should be, right? But that's totally different and up to each parent's own choice, right? I do personally think, just based on things I've seen with my own siblings and things I've seen with other people out in the world, that it is super beneficial to have them interact with technology early on. Because that's the way our world's moving into, and completely taking things out of their hands is going to truly and honestly set them behind, right? But as in all things, I think there's a balance to it. I think they can't be on it all the time. They talk about tablet toddlers and stuff like that. Like these, they're completely glued to the screen. That's just allowing them to learn that I'm safe in any environment I go to have my attention completely distracted. And there's parts of the world where that is absolutely not the case. So you don't want to incubate those habits early on.
So
How?
unfortunately, right, as
So talking,
Yeah.
go. I'll let you speak first, and then
go
I'll
ahead,
go.
Sephora.
No, I was saying as a parent, I think that come with discipline your kids too. Like you can let them know, educate them about self-awareness and stuff like that. You know, when you out, you can't be focusing on the devices. Your head is down so focused that you can't even see what's going on around you. It all come with discipline. You discipline them, you talk to them, and then there's time. It's good to have them. I mean, so they can be trained early when to know how to use the device and stuff like that. Because, like you mentioned, now society, like the way this world is going, it's all about internet, look, those type of devices. But it's good that they know, but at the same time, you need to discipline them in a way that this is not all they have.
Couldn't agree more.
So unfortunately, as parents, sometimes we give our kids devices just to distract them, to keep them occupied, which is fine, right? Sometimes, but I believe there are times where they need to be off those devices. There are times, especially when you're in the public area, you want to be alert. And like, as Sephora said, you want to educate the kids, right? You want to train them. You want to tell them, hey, you out now. You have to stay mindful of where you are. In case something's happening, you have to be able to hear. And to just give you guys an example, I know sometimes my daughter, when she if I don't pick her up from her, after school activities and she is taking the bus to come home and she has headphones, so I'll tell her, hey, make sure your headphones are off when you're walking home, right? So that if something's happening, you alert, right? You know what's going on around you. So I will tell her, hey, remember, do not put your headphones on. Make sure you're not on your phone as you're walking home, so that if something is going on around you, you could be aware. So I think it comes with educating the kids. Tell them, hey, you have to be mindful where you are, especially when you're out. You can be, on your phone. You don't know what's going on around you. I think it's okay to give kids devices because we're, in our days, it's all about technology, but we have to educate them in terms of, stay alert. There are places, public places, you have to be alert in case something is happening.
Yeah, I agree. Because
Yeah.
like wherever you go right now, you see the paper on the wall saying like this kid is missing, 15 years old is missing. Like they are taking people out there. Like sometimes when you talk to the kids, when you try to teach them like how the world is crazy out there, sometimes I'm telling you, my son even looking at me like I'm crazy. But I know I'm not, because we know better, but they think they know better with these devices. Like if you are telling the kids something at home, they might try to take it 25 times before they even agree with you. Where they go to school, the friend, the teacher just says something and boom, they just go with it. Like the kids nowadays, when they are out, they have the headset on, they have the phone, they have no clue. And we be telling them, like, when you are some places, you gotta walk in that places before you even focus on whatever you're doing. You can look for the exit door, think about if there is a fire, where would you go? You are in the middle of the crowd. If something happened, what's gonna be your first move? And I think it's not only for the kids, it's for everybody. Like, know your surrounding. Like, if you have to leave in the next 5 minutes, what would you do? Me, sometimes that's why, I don't deal really well in a crowd, because I'm always expecting like something is about to happen. That's why I don't go outside that much. I don't do crowd. It's just me. I don't say, because when I go out somewhere there is nothing, right? But I always like when I'm in some places, I'm always thinking like, if something is happening right now, what will be my first move? And then you see me looking left, looking right. Sometimes in my mind, I'm jumping the window. Sometimes in my mind, I jump over people's head, because I'm creating scenes where I can save my life, where I can escape. I think that should be something like people nowadays need to be practicing, because the world is crazy. Sophie, I see you were shaking your head. I don't know if you want to add something or the name, so you can. I think
Yeah.
Sophie left.
No, I mean, I do agree. I think the world, yeah, the world we live in is currently like, but at the same time, you have to be also mindful that we don't become hyperactive, and hyper vigilant about things around it, and we cannot enjoy the environment we are in too. So it's true balance, like as we were talking about, like training yourself to figure out like what the true threats are and not worry about it all the time and be on the always high alert all the time. So it's just finding right balance, training ourselves, like visiting more outer spaces in the public and figuring that right balance out for people. It depends on individual to individual too. Like, we sometimes, as you say, like when you go out, you are always on a high alert. So
Always.
maybe are you able to enjoy the surrounding then? Yeah.
Yeah, agree because sometimes I'm doing too much and I don't know what's going on. And I let me just give you guys a quick advice, not regarding the situational awareness. So I see a lot of people getting in and out. So the thing is, if you connect on your phone and you're using your data, or you left your how I can say that, like put your phone in airplane and leave the Wi-Fi open, because whenever you receive a call, you're just gonna drop. So that's why I don't know if Franklin has a call right now or if they need receive a call. That's why you left them. They left us. So whenever you get to this platform, like wherever you got to a call, it's better to use your Wi-Fi instead of your data, and just put your phone in airplane mode. Then if somebody's calling you, you won't receive that call, but you will be stay on the show with us. Yep. So I think Denim is coming back. Yeah, Denim, I don't know if you heard what I was saying. Like, if you put your
Yeah, I did.
phone on airplane
Yeah, it's
mode,
strange.
yeah.
I'm using actually my iPad, but I'm not sure why it's going in and out. So a little technical difficulties here.
All right. I think we get
Whole
Franklin
time
back.
actually.
Yeah. What's going on, Franklin?
Yo, yeah, you guys were all saying really good stuff. I was here. I'm not sure what happened, but
Me too. I
Yeah.
was here and I couldn't, so I had to left and come back on.
yeah, yep.
All right. So,
I think I'll go back to you, Franklin. We were talking about like training ourselves, right? Like being aware of the situations and stuff. But what do you think? What would be the right path or right way to not be hyper alert all the time and identifying the right like threat or what should we be aware of when we go out in public?
Sure.
And this also for kids as well, I guess. So
Yeah, absolutely. So I think with children, it's a little bit different, right? I do think it starts with the parents first and foremost, and it trickles down, of course. But I think I have to ask you a question in order to answer your question, which is, what do you consider hyper awareness? Because I think that's different for a
mm,
lot of people. I was talking with
yeah.
Topiel, and I was telling him how I actually kind of enjoy going to the unfamiliar environments for exactly this reason. So what one person might consider being hyper aware or being anxious might not be for another person, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah, I mean that's true. Like so I would, I guess, to answer your question, I would say like hyper alert is that when we are in the newer environment, we cannot enjoy the environment itself, but we are always like
mhm.
worried about like what is surrounding us or what should we be worried about. We don't
Hmm.
give ourselves that chance to enjoy the environment, rather we are just worrying about it, like what could go wrong kind of situation.
Yeah, okay, so that's huge. So I think what you're identifying, if I have to make a guesstimate, is involving anxiety first and foremost. So that
Right.
kind of emotion, that practice isn't coming from a place of curiosity or a place of growth or of learning and trying to gain something to be more safe. It's coming from a place of, I don't know my environment. I don't feel like maybe I have the ability to do something in this environment, and therefore I can't enjoy what's going on, right? So
Mm,
truthfully, I think if you're feeling that way in unfamiliar environments, you probably need to practice more. And practice more could be something as simple as, again, going to a local place that you are familiar with and just people watching. Um, I personally think a big part of this as well is mindfulness. And you can learn a lot about mindfulness just through meditation. And I could talk about meditation practices you could do to help with some of these things. But like one of our friends here was saying, like knowing yourself, knowing how you interact with the world and how you're going to feel about certain things is an absolutely necessary step for this, because you need to know when you see someone or you see something in the environment that like I'm prone to reacting this way. So is it just me because I've seen this habit and I've seen this consistently through time, or is it truly something that's alien to myself and the environment?
All right. So Franklin is I don't know what's going on. So Denim. So sometimes when there is people that think they know better, there is sometimes people think they know not too much, but they are aware about everything. Franklin, what are some common mistake? Like what could be the issue if someone think they are aware too much or they know everything, like it's like I got this. What was like what is some common mistake does people usually mix with this thought?
Okay, the number one thing that comes off the top of my head is that you think you know what's going on because you've practiced this, or that you've been in an environment before that you're super familiar with, and I know all these people and I know what could happen. So the number one thing is you're always aware because your environment changes, right? Like most of us are traveling and going to different places. And I think even if you stay in the same place, a lot of people don't understand that the time of day changes the environment. And this is, if I might say, this is super important even for women specifically. And this is a thing we would teach and talk about, because if you're walking to your car by yourself in the morning, it is a much safer environment than if you're walking to your car by yourself at night. So the environment and the day changes things. And I think a lot of people think, I've lived here my whole life, I know what's going on, but the time is different, the environment is different.
Agree. It's the same way, like in a work environment. Sometimes people be watching you. It's
Absolutely.
it's not even in a work environment. People be watching your move, like your routine. What do you do every morning? Where do you go? Like when do you take your break? And in your break, what do you do? What is your focus? People be watching you. You don't even realize that. And then sometimes when you do the stuff like every day, you got this. This is the place. I do this every single day. I have nothing to worry about. But people are watching you, and then like they're just planning an attack where you think you got everything under control, and then one day they just boom, and you think you were aware about everything, but you were not ready for the eventual situation.
Definitely.
Yep. So I see. Let me send a big shout out to Stephanie Emilien. She said that kids need to be focused on paying attention to their environment. So she was saying like something that I do all the time at home, where I pay attention to my kid. I pay attention to when you come back from school, what is your attitude. When you are in the house by yourself, when I walk into the house, I'm looking at you. I don't let you see that I'm watching you. It's still a situational awareness. Like you have control of what's going on in the house. That's why sometimes when my son does something that he was not supposed to do, and I say, "Come on, what's happened at the school today?" Not I say, "I'm gonna give you one chance. You're gonna tell me exactly what's happened at the school today." It's not that because I exactly knew like there was something that happened at the school today. It's because I watch him, because I have control of the environment that I'm living at home. When there is something different, like you can feel it. It's like the same way you can teach your kid to be aware. We as a parent, we can teach ourselves how to know your kid, how to know their response. Like whenever you ask a question, you know what is the common answer. You know the gesture, if I can say that. Like when there is something wrong, you will feel it, and all of that is because you're just aware of the environment, the household, so that will help you teach your kid better and know when there is something wrong at the house.
Right.
So is anybody want to add anything before we pass to the next question?
I wanted to add quite a few things from
Yeah.
the beginning. I guess for some reason, I was not, I was off.
Yeah.
Couple things. Earlier, you said I don't know, one of the person who spoke earlier said about being hypervigilant. What do you call hypervigilant, right? And he also touched on anxiety. So I remember when you reached out about a Bellevue and you said, oh, we wanted to talk about awareness, and you said you're kind of uncomfortable going outside sometimes, and I said to you, I don't mean to diagnose or anything, but from a clinical standpoint, I wonder, will it be social anxiety, right? If and I'm not talking about you, you know, only if there's anyone on the live. So if you are so uncomfortable, if you feel like going outside is so uncomfortable, there might be more. Maybe you might have to look into more, what's going on with me, right? What is it that I'm so uncomfortable going outside? Yes, I'm afraid that something might happen. I'm afraid that I could get hurt. There might be more to look into, like what's going on, right? And I know someone else said, if you're going out, if you're in a place, being hyper vigilant could be like, are you anxious, right? I guess there's a degree of anxiety that could be normal. For instance, whenever we're in an unfamiliar environment, it's okay. It's normal to be anxious, right? To be, to wonder, hey, something might be happening. But when it could be an issue, if it's affecting you, for instance, interacting with other people, now it's an issue. Now you have to try to look into it. What's really going on? Because, like I said, there's no more anxiety if I'm unfamiliar. If I'm going someplace, I'm wanting. Of course, I'm gonna be anxious because it's just normal. But if it's affecting me in terms of not being able to go outside, then it could be more to look into.
So I think you are right, and I was wondering, like, if that could have been a weakness, you know, like in your life, because you are too scared about what can happen, like wherever you go. That can be a weakness, that
I
that
don't call
can
it
be a problem.
weakness from a clinical
Eh?
standpoint. I don't call it weakness. I'll call it maybe some trauma that happened maybe in the past. Something happened, and because of that affects you now.
I don't
Yeah.
know. That can be, but I think sometimes when you watch the news too much, I remember there was a pastor was telling, like, sometimes you need to put the phone down. You need to turn off the radio, like stop listening to the news, because I'm on social media, and it's like whatever that's happening, it's like they are pop up in my phone, because I mostly follow people that's giving information. So wherever something is happening, I know. It's like I know that much that's happening in the world, and mostly it's usually the crazy stuff. I say, shoops, the world is crazy. People need to stay out, stay. It's not. I almost say stay out of the world, but you can't. You gotta live in the world. But stay. Lay back. Don't be out there too much. If you're out there, you gotta be careful, because I think it's a problem. I might need to see, someone for to diagnose me to see exactly what's going on.
No, we
Yeah,
just gotta take you out more. That's all.
yeah. When is it? When is the next
Group outing.
outing? Yeah.
I think we have
Yeah,
two
we-
this week.
Nice.
So you're gonna get double the practice. I'll see you
When
there.
you talk about at the job, right?
Yeah.
No, we don't need the outing at the job. When you go out with the job, it's like you have too much limit, right, Sophie? You have too much limit when you go out with your job. You gotta take care of your drinking, of your movement. And tomorrow when you come back to the job, they say, yo, ah.
Too much fun.
Yeah, it's too much fun. But it's a blessing tonight. We are talking about a really good subject because, like I said on the last show, we need more stuff like that in our community. I know tonight, because of my main guests, they don't speak Creole. We had to do this show in English. I know a lot of my followers might not speak English, but I know we might need to come up with another show like in Creole for, for the people that only speak French or Creole. Maybe I'm gonna have the same guest and do the translation, but this is a great opportunity, like for the followers to know exactly, how they can react. We're gonna need to bring some counter attack, like some defense. Like if you are some places when there is a fire, if something is happening, it's not like you are aware of what's going on, but how can you defend yourself also? So I think what it's already 40 minutes, like we have like 15 minutes left. Franklin, is there anything like I didn't ask you want to talk about? Denim, Sophie, do you guys have anything like we don't talk about yet? You just want to bring on the table so we can have more discussion about?
Well, I just want
Yeah, no,
to
just
re-emphasize the five senses again. I think we think about our sight and our hearing a lot too, but using the other three makes a huge difference too. I was thinking about the fire example you were giving. A lot of people know about knowing where your exits are, know where the fire exits are as soon as you enter a room, enter a building, whatever it is, what floor you're on, for example, and really keeping that in your mind. But use your sense of smell too. Using your sense of smell will alert you to a lot of things that you might not ever have a chance of hearing or being able to see, right? So don't forget all five.
All right, perfecto. I wish I could have typing so fast to put them in the comment for my followers. You wanna repeat them again, please?
The five senses.
Yes.
So it's touch, taste, smell, hearing, and sight. Is that all five? Or did I say sight 5 times?
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, so-
If
yeah.
Sight, hearing, taste, smell, and touch.
can you give them with with some example, like
Yeah,
literally?
sure.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So the number one, easiest one, we already talked about this a lot. You take your sight away when you're looking on a phone. So get off your phone. That's a really easy one. Number 2, so lots of people are wearing headphones nowadays. Out in public, I think it's mostly fine if you're in a safe environment, if you're already aware of where some of the problems could be. But if you're in an unfamiliar environment, probably take your headphones out, right? Taste, kind of a little bit hard to obviously be able to push out there, right? If you're maybe in a restaurant you're unfamiliar with, be aware of the food you're eating, at least if you're not eating something unfamiliar to you, and be aware of what you could be potentially dealing with. Save yourself for some food poisoning in that resolve. Fires, again, you're probably going to be able to smell fires before you can even hear them. You'd be very, very surprised, right? And then let's see, touch. Touch is a really interesting one. It's a little bit hard to be situationally aware in that case. But if you're with your partner, for example, sometimes you can be aware of how they're feeling just by holding hands with them or something like that. They could be shaking. You're not really seeing or paying attention to them. And all of a sudden you're aware of something that now they were aware of. So.
Thank you. All right, so I think that's gonna be maybe before my last question. Before I ask this question, is there anyone that's wanna say anything? Sophie, be quiet since a very long time. What's going on?
I'm learning a lot because I'm learning a lot myself too, because I have to think for myself of how, I'm not too much of a going out person as well. Like I have to sit back and actually think like, damn, I haven't been going out the way I'm supposed to. And like it's maybe there's something like the sister Nadia said. But yeah, I'm learning a lot.
All right, so my question, I hope like my wife is bullying me on the chat saying like I don't like going out, maybe I go out with you, but you gotta chill, okay? You gotta chill. So the question that I'm about to ask right now, I wanna give a little story about the question, but my wife is gonna be mad. I don't know if I should give
Oh
this.
boy.
What should I do? Can you guys give me, some advice? Should I do it? Because she's definitely gonna be mad with me if I give this.
Remember, remember, it's gonna be you after the
Do
show's
it,
over. Be
do,
quiet.
do it for the greater good.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask the question, but I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna tell you what's happened to me one time. But it's two different situations. The question and what's happened to me, but they are related. So the question is, sometimes people plan, like if something happened, that's what I'm gonna do. The name left. Like if something happened, that's what I'm gonna do. That's how I'm gonna react. I think all of us have done that. Like try to be aware and try to be ready if something happened. But why exactly when you are in the exact moment and then you just got frozen? Things happen, you don't do left and right, you just stay in. It's like whatever that's gonna happen to you, just let it happen. You got frozen. Why is that? Before you
Um,
answer, before you
I
answer,
know. No,
before
no.
you answer, let me give
Go
the
ahead.
little history before you
Oh, the
answer.
story.
The
Oh
story.
no. Thank you for your sacrifice, by the way, for the trip.
Yeah.
I was working at a places in Haiti, and then the artist Richelle Guillaume.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe the name of Franklin you don't know her, but I'm gonna show
Hmm.
you who she is. That day, Richelle was supposed to come to perform at the place. It was a university. She was supposed to come and perform at the university. And before she came, I told myself because I like her. She sing good. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Shut up.
She
Why are you
probably knows the
laughing?
story.
Why are you laughing? So before she came, I was getting myself ready, saying like, today I'm gonna talk to Richelle. I'm gonna say hi, try to
Oh.
have a conversation, blah blah blah. Because yeah, I said today's the day. But it was before my wife. Well, I gotta tell you, it was before my wife. Right? I gotta be careful.
Oh.
Yeah. Ooh, ooh. So I told myself, today is the day I'm gonna talk to Rachel. And then there is one way to come in the place where she's going to perform, right? And I stand exactly where she had to pass. And then I was getting ready, blah blah blah, and then she just woke up. Like I was not even see when she was coming off the stairs, and I just saw Rachel right in front of me, just about to just pass by. I just like, and Rachel just passed. I didn't even say hi. And after that, I was so mad with myself. I was just frozen. It's like the question, why, baby, please don't be mad because it was before you. I still like Rachel. She knows that. So it's just like, because she's an artist, she sings pretty good. The question, why, when you get yourself ready for a situation, for an eventual situation, and then when it's happening, and you just got frozen. Nadia, you were saying something.
So I know none of us here is a psychologist, right? I know in psychology it's normal for that to happen. I've remembered like there were times that I remember when I took some psychology courses and they were saying sometimes right you want to do something when you are at the when you are in the scene or you're at the place, all the things that you're thinking, anticipating, and nothing is happening. You can't get yourself to speak. You can't get yourself to react the way you anticipated, right? And I guess that helps us as human beings to not be so judgmental of other people, because you could be like, oh, why didn't she react like that? Why didn't she say that? Until you're in that person's spot or you realize maybe it wasn't that easy, right? I feel like that happens a lot. that you thought you wanted to do something, you anticipated something. When you there, you can't, you just freeze. You can't get yourself to say it. I think it's that's very common.
Totally agree. Fight, flight, or freeze. Right. I've actually had very similar situations. Topiel. I think a big part of it is we can tell when moments are important, whether they're bad or good. You know, you kind of know intuitively whether
Hmm.
you're going to meet someone and you're like, this is super important. I might never meet this person again. Or you're in a building and there's a fire and you're like, well, this is a pretty important moment, right? I think it comes down to the adrenaline, the fight, flight, or freeze response you're going to have, you know? I think that's probably a big part of it. I met a gentleman who was a celebrity that I met. I went to 3 of his shows and I met him 2 times. And I remember thinking I wanted to ask this guy questions and I was going to get a minute to talk to him. And I swear that minute was like 5 seconds long, both times. And that was coming from the first experience being like, I'm going to have to be more mindful and pay more attention when I go in, right? And it just did not matter because I knew the moment was important and, you know, it just goes by.
Wow. Wow. So Flora, you have a story too. Come on. Come on.
I mean, I think it's all about nervousness because me, sometime, like, sometimes when you're like, human wise, like, I have my husband, sometimes I'm ready to have a full conversation. I practice everything at home. This is what I'm gonna say when he come and everything. And the moment he come, everything turned by, like, whatever that I was practicing when I get
Wow.
to come. It's
Wow.
just
Wow. Money book.
I think, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know why it happened, why you froze, like you just, what wasn't what your reaction were, why you weren't what you wanted to do, and out of nowhere you don't do it. I think it's normal as
Hmm.
human beings, normal for it to happen, stuff like that. So
So you are in love with money book. That's what's going on. Denim, I know you have a story too, man. Come on. Well,
He's got it, right?
yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
yeah, actually, I do have a story, but not. I guess not the happy moment kind of situation, but
Oof.
this is like goes back when I was in high school, a delivery guy, and I was delivering a pizza, and it was actually a kind of a scary moment. uh, the robbery happened when I had a pizza, and I was the guy like pulls up, and it was again like what Franklin was saying, like you do it in daytime, it's a different story, but in nighttime the environment changes,
correct.
and you are in that mindset of like same like nothing will happen and like safe place kind of situation, but it was dark and the guy like pulls a gun and like you thought about these things when you're doing it before and like what to do, like they ask for anything you give it, and I just froze, like I don't know what to do. You think like I didn't open the door, it was just a small window gap. I could have just drove off like or spit off or something. There's multiple scenarios could have been, but instead of any of that I just froze, like so
Hmm.
guy like opens the car up and like takes whatever he wants, and I'm just like froze there. Like so it
Damn.
it it is like certain situation that puts you in that spot, and then you don't know what to do because you haven't rehearsed this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
That
so you have to meet that actress or a singer multiple times in order for you to execute what you want to execute. You have to train
Yeah.
yourself to
I'm
do
not
that.
sure his wife would be okay with that advice. I think
probably that.
that ship has sailed.
He
So
lost his chance.
now let's change the subject about the this thing. Because like Nadia told me, like I'm gonna be, by myself once you guys leave. Please, please. I remember like to close this story stuff. One day I remember we went on vacation in Haiti, and then we were walking, and then we saw a couple guys coming, and then I said, "Baby, I don't know what's gonna happen, what's going on. Let's just move out. Like we're just walking and go to a restaurant. When we get to that restaurant, unlucky for me, those guys were coming to the same restaurant, but they were very weird. And then while they walked in, I was buying something. It was a water. The guy uh, gave me the water, and then at the same times, those people walking this restaurant, I freaked out, and then I gave the money and the water at the same times, and I'm leaving. I'm not sure if you see what I'm like. While the person was walking the restaurant, I had the water, but I didn't pay yet. I gave the money and I give the water at the same times, and I'm walking out. It's like I'm walking out backwards. Like I'm walking. It's like I just freaked out because it's just when things happen. Sometimes it's just losing your mind. You don't know
Right.
what to do. So the
Absolutely.
final question of tonight. But before I ask the final question, I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody tonight. The people that was commenting on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. But unlucky for me, I can't see the other comment. It's only the Facebook one that I can see right now. I want to thank you guys for you know giving me this opportunity to learn from you today. And I want to thank everybody that was on the live, helping, supporting, share the live. And tonight was a success. I can say that because I was nervous, like any of you can tell. I was telling you guys tonight is gonna be my first show in English. I know my people. I know there is something like we call coupe lage. Like whenever you do a mistake, they just take your mistake. I think it's not only my people, it's everywhere. Like whenever you're saying something and you do a mistake, you can say thousand good words, but the one time you fly, you do a slip, they're just gonna take it and do some weird video with it. So it was a success tonight. I want to thank everybody again, and I think we need more of that. Getting me more comfortable. Like I really appreciate you guys. So before I ask the last question, I can do another round table. You guys can say whatever you wanna say before we leave. If you wanna greet some people, it's the time. If you wanna say hi to your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, this is the time. And I'm gonna start again with the ladies. Sophia, your turn now.
Um, well, it was a pleasure to be in here. I've learned a lot. Um, I didn't have much to say because again, this topic was like a long one because even me myself, I needed to learn a lot. So thank you for allowing me to be here and teaching me a lot of things that I will now make sure that I am aware, be more awareness when I go out, and then do more experience for myself as well, my kids.
All right, thank you, Nadia.
First, I would like to say thank you to you. Thanks for the opportunity to be here, to be part of the show. I learned a lot today, like Sophia said. It was really a good one. It was really a great one. I guess as far as the fans, I just wanted to greet them and thank them for just being stay there with us for the whole time because I know people sometimes they have things to do, they just them staying for the whole hour, it's something to appreciate. So appreciate all our fans who are watching us. And I would like to encourage parents to lead by example, not only to tell kids to get off their device when they're in public, but you as parents lead as examples, not just you just preach, but also be mindful when you're out. Be an example. So let your kids see you be mindful, being alert when you're out there, so that when they too are out there, they can be mindful being out there. Don't just tell them, but you have to lead by example as well.
All right, Denim.
Yeah. So I just want to thanks again for having me on this. And it was really good conversations and different perspectives that from everybody else, and a lot of good comments from people were tuning in, and I just wanted to put like that emojis all around, but I couldn't do it here. I was trying to figure that out. Thumbs up and smiley faces. So just want to verbally thanks everybody. And definitely, this is a good topic and lot to be said about it. And this was a good tuning in and just going to the basics of it. So overall, really good, successful conversations. Thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you so very much, everybody. Mr. Franklin.
Yeah, so, well, first and foremost, Topio, thank you so much for having me, man. I feel like this has been a long time coming, no matter what we talked about. So let's do it again sometime. Thank you to everyone who tuned in and decided to watch, especially if you stuck around for the whole hour. It's not easy to stick around and watch something for a whole hour, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for everyone coming in and tuning out. And I guess I want to shout out my beautiful girlfriend, Yadixie. I'm pretty sure she's been watching the whole time, too. So she'll appreciate that, of course. But overall, Topiel, thank you so much for having me. I think if I could give one final plug to everyone listening, though, the one secret to situational awareness that is super easy, and I don't think a lot of people do, is to carry a flashlight. Even if it's a really cheap one, any flashlight separate from your phone helps a lot if you're in a dark environment. Could save your life. It saved a lot of people's lives, so get a flashlight.
All right, thank you. I think I have one. I'm gonna, it was under my couch somewhere. I'm gonna put it out.
Yeah, you might need a flashlight to find your flashlight.
Yeah.
Really. You never saw people that is drunk. They open the flashlight on the phone, looking for the phone.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
happened to you,
haven't
didn't
seen
it? Yeah. They open, they light up the flash on the phone and looking for the cell phone. All right, guys. Thank you so very much for tonight. I can't say anything else because you guys almost said everything. I want to send a big shout out to everybody that was supporting tonight, and I give you our next rendezvous next week around the same times at 7 o'clock. So, if situational awareness can save lives, why do you think people still choose to live distracted? And what is the true cause of that distraction?
Well, I think the number one reason is there are so many distractions, especially in the West. Our environment is kind of engineered to distract you from what you're trying to do immediately right now. I mean, your cell phone's a huge proponent of that. All the screens we're surrounded with are a huge proponent of that. I think the number one cost is your lack of being present in your own life, though. How often do we find ourselves, even in the comfort of your own home, on your phone, not being aware of what's going on in your own house, and an hour goes by? That's a whole hour you could have been present, spending time with your children or with your family, So there's nothing more costly than that.
My wife will love that.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to me spending time playing video games. She would say, you could have been with me, spending the time with me. Yeah. So, thank you again. And I'm gonna let you guys go. I give you rendezvous for next week around the same times. One love and God bless you. You wanna sing with me? That's my song. You wanna sing with me? That is my song. We're not close the show singing my song. You wanna do that?
I know every word.
You know every word of my song. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, and see you next week. Bye bye.